Hello everyone, Damien here from DKBrickStudios, and today we'll be doing another Build Talk video here today. Yes, indeed. So today we are doing a Build Talk video for the Bouncer Big Daddy. Yes, indeed. We have a pretty long video here today, well, roughly an hour. It would have been longer if I didn't split this up, but we'll be splitting this up today. So yeah, we'll be doing part 1 of the Bouncer today, and then on Monday, we'll have part 2, so hit subscribe so you get notified when that comes out. And yeah, so today what we're going to be talking about is how would I do BioShock into movies, and what would I like to see BioShock Parkside, what would I like to see from BioShock Parkside if that actually becomes a thing. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. And yeah, let's let the intro roll and we'll get started with it, shall we? Let's. Alrighty, before we get fully into this, please check out my mock spotlight on this. That would be greatly appreciated. I should have hopefully put that up in the upper right hand corner. Carded that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? So we're going to be talking about how would I do BioShocks. BioShock 1, 2, Infinite, Minerva's Den, yes, and Burial at Sea. So, both part 1 and part 2. So how would I do that as a movie? Both of all of those. Each of their own movies. Burial at Sea would be a one movie. I'm going to do Burial at Sea as one movie, but we'll get to Burial at Sea hopefully later down the line. So, BioShock 1, where it all begins. I would definitely cut out some of the trip to Ryan just to kind of condense it. I would maybe shrink down the time we were in Arcadia just to make it look like, oh hey, we're doing a quick stroll through Arcadia. We have the whole trip to the farmer's market, although that is kind of integral, I feel. But I feel like I need to be snappy. We need to be snappy. If I'm trying to make this a 2-hour-long movie out of a very long game, I need to kind of cut some portions down of the game. I would probably cut down a bit of the time in Neptune's Bounty as well, because Neptune's Bounty is a long bit as well. Well, more likely just, okay, you get the camera, you capture a couple images, we cut to him grabbing the camera, we cut to him grabbing some images of the pictures, and then we go from there. We go to him running around with the model, with the getting the images of the splicers. Yeah, that's kind of how I would do it, just to kind of, and then we see the whole fight with Peach Wilkins, which will probably be like a miniature battle there. Of course, I do want to kind of give some character growth to Jack. I kind of want to make you kind of get to know Jack. Although he would be kind of more like a silent protagonist, I would make Atlas be someone he talks to throughout the game, throughout the story. So we sit there and he talks to you as the story goes on, and you reply to him, and it's kind of like a back and forth. In a way, it's kind of like a dynamic, so you're talking to him throughout the story, and then, of course, later down the line, we have Tannenbaum, who will talk to you as the story progresses, and you will reply to her, and you kind of reply to Fontaine, Fontaine when he is revealed, and all that. Now, of course, I already know how I'm going to do. Of course, speaking of the whole Fontaine thing, that scene, that reveal, that is going to be the big moment in the story. That's going to be the big cataclysmic moment in the story. That's going to be essentially where I'm like, here, music, none, maybe a little, just as we get to the Widgekind, like to the reveal, to the full reveal, kind of like just slowly rising maybe, but you barely notice it until it's there, until you realize it's there, and then we have you realize, wait a second, what's going on here? We get the audience start wondering what's going on there. It'd be a shot for shot remake of the entire scene of that scene from the video game. I would so do it that way because that way it would make a lot. It would just work. Oh man, it would look beautiful. Oh man, I would so do that way. Oh man, it would look. I would definitely be up to doing it that way. So yeah, I'd probably cut out the whole bit where he's getting the Big Daddy suit and where he has to get the little sister. I mean, yeah, we'll do a couple scenes where he's rescuing the little sister. I'm not having him harvest. Okay, I don't want to have him harvest. No, okay. I saw on a I learned that Mister what's his face Ken Levine really liked the good ending as opposed to the bad ending. So we're gonna use the good ending because the good ending's a lot better. Of course, not a lot of people. There's a small portion of people who don't go for the good ending. But hey, I'm just doing what I'm doing. Okay, don't get on my case. Don't get on my case. Okay. Well, you could, but I'm not gonna, be like, hey, look, I was just doing how I would have done it. All right. You want to make a BioShock movie? Go ahead, and make your own. All right. I don't mind at all. Not at all. You know what? I would definitely kind of make Sandra Cohen's whole bit like a thing. Like that definitely be a big exchange there. Like you are definitely working with Sandra Cohen for a bit, trying to understand Sandra Cohen for a bit, getting to work with him for a bit. That would definitely be something I would do, story wise, and I would do that 100%. Yeah. Let's see, how else, what else, like, I would definitely try to make Fort Frolic in the movie look exactly like Fort Frolic. I would definitely try to make this thing R-rated, because, BioShock has to be R-rated. You can't do a non-R-rated version of BioShock when it has to be R-rated. BioShock must have those mature elements in it. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like BioShock. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how I would do the big battle between you and Fontaine, but I would definitely do that. Well, I would definitely start you on the plane, you saying to yourself, told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They're right. I'm putting that whole dialogue in there. That whole scene is going to be him saying that. And then we cut the black into the tile screen. We do that whole scene. That setup. I want to do that, and then we show you swimming out of the water, looking like you do from the game. I would definitely do that. Because that's important, in my opinion. You got to do it that way. You can't not. It has to be done, in my opinion. So yeah, let's see, what else would I try to tackle here? Oh yeah, I would definitely make the Big Daddies look like how they're supposed to. The Big Daddies they're a staple of BioShock. They're important. Like, you can't not have a Big Daddy. And I would get me and a friend of mine, my friend who got me in the BioShock, which I'll be doing that in another Build Talk video. When we do Delta, I'll be talking about all that. That and my thoughts on all the games. She would definitely be a little sister, and I would be dressed as one of the Big Daddies, and we would do that whole scene. That'd be my cameo. That'd be my cameo in the movie. So yeah, that'd be that whole scene. That'd be that sequence. I would definitely also, with Jack, I would definitely cut down on the number of weapons he has, just for the fact that, he has, there's a lot. Like, I can't go, it's gonna be hard keeping track of every weapon and knowing what you're gonna want to use them for, when I could just go machine gun, pistol, probably a crossbow, grenade launcher, and shotgun. Maybe knock out the crossbow, but still, 4 weapons is going to make it a lot easier on us. And I like it, and I would be happier with it that way than 6 weapons. Than that way. And so you guys know I am using some images of my older versions of my characters, of my versions of my Scorch and Ion models to help me kind of see how I would be building these. And yeah, just so I can, know how I would go about how to kind of, just as references, you'll be seeing the other Big Daddies as we go along in our little series here. So, yeah. And, yeah. And as you can see here, we're working on the legs. We have the feet all done. I think he's looking really nice. I really like how he looks. I would I definitely think he's coming out nicely. I like how he looks. And those bracket pieces kind of cover up the bracket pieces there, but you'll see how I'm tackling all that pretty soon. So yeah. Yeah, it would definitely end on him, getting out of rapture with the little girls, and kind of just showing him having a life of them. That would be nice. I think that would be a great way to end that movie. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that should be dealt with in the movie? I would definitely keep some of the plasmids that are in the game in the movie, like all the plasmids that are in the game, but I'm not going to use like every, like, I'll definitely keep, like, have them have some main ones, like how I use Electrobolt or Incinerite and Telekinesis. Those are the 3 main ones I always keep on my person in the game. Like, I don't go about, I always keep those on me. Like, I never do a game without them because those are important. I see those as important pieces. Those are very important plasmids to have on my person. And I don't like having, because I may never know. I might need to melt some ice, or I might want to set somebody on fire. Of course, there's that too. But I might need to, I can always use the incinerate to help melt something, or set something ablaze that needs to be set ablaze. And there's always the electrobolt. That's such a useful plasmid. Just so I can just go, bam, you're stunned, or I can shock the machines and go from there. Um, Telekinesis, always grab that. Always useful because I can grab the ones that I grab, like plasma things that are out of reach, like high above the sky, high above me, or like up on like a little like shop window or something like that. Like I can always use that. That's such a useful plasmid, and I just like using those. Those are some nice plasmids. I would maybe bring in Insect Swarm. Maybe Insect Swarm. Because I use that a lot. I use that a lot after I've learned about how its usefulness from the BioShock Hub, which, great channel. If you're a fan of BioShock, check that channel out. The BioShock Hub is a really good channel. I am a big fan of his channel. I'm a huge fan of it. So for anybody who is a fan of BioShock, go check it out. I would highly recommend it. I might remember to put it in the description. I might remember to put it in the description down below. But yeah, I use that. I occasionally use Enrage just to help, just to be like, oh hey, go fight yourselves. And is there any others I like to use? I mean, like, After that, it's like, okay, it's always trial and error. It's always like, okay, which plasmids do I want to use? Which plasmids do I don't want to use? It's always like guess and check, you know? It's always a trial, and I don't mind doing it. It's always fun to do. I think in my last playthrough, I did, well, one of them I did target dummy. Target dummy is actually really useful, and I think that could be useful. So yeah, I would definitely do like really cool shots with the plasmids, like Jack doing like when we do Jack with the inserting the the first plasmid in him. Oh man, I would so make it look like he's like there's like pain in him, like he's freaking out, like oh my god. I would so do that. I would give him some. I would make it look like you are like really make you be like, wait, what's happened to this poor man? And you see, oh, he just got some power. He just got a fistful of lightning now, and he's now ready to. Now he's going on his little journey here. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait to do that. If you can hear my sister, she's talking with her boyfriend on FaceTime. I hope she's even coming through. If she does, I don't. It's not. I try not. I hope that. I really just hope that's not coming through. Because I try not to have that happen. But yeah, definitely I would do that. I think that's it for 1. I feel like I've talked enough about 1. So let's jump to BioShock 2. BioShock 2. How would I tackle BioShock 2? I would definitely start off the movie with you with Lil Eleanor, like we do in the game, because I want to give you that attachment. Make you feel for something for Subject Delta. I want you to feel something for him. And you have that attachment to her, and then you realize, oh, he lost her. And then we have like a flashback to who this man was before he became the Big Daddy, to how he got to Rapture, maybe. That would probably be a really cool thing, because I remember that being something for the game, but never happened. I would do something where it's like, okay, you see Johnny Topside actually going to Rapture, heading to Rapture, and dives in there and doesn't make it out, and makes it, and then, we go from there, and then we kind of tell the story about how Johnny Topside became Subject Delta while we find his little sister, Eleanor, 10 years later. And of course, I would definitely I would have the whole thing of the cult of Jack, as I'm calling it, the religion of Jack. Like, oh my god, I would put that in the game 100%, in this movie 100%. Give it that feel of like, yeah, these people worship Jack, and that Jack, he's left an impact here in this story. Jack's done a lot here. Alright? He's done a lot. He's left an impact here. And you can feel it. And I like doing it, and I like that. It's actually that'd be a really cool way to do it. And then, of course, we would have Sophia Lamb. She would obviously be on the radio from time to time talking about her ideals until we walk up in to see her face to face. We would have Sinclair. Oh man, my main man Sinclair. God, we would have that breaking scene where he becomes a big daddy, and you're fighting him, and oh man, and you have to fight him. Oh my god, I would cry. I hate that. I hate having to kill him. Okay, I hate having to kill him because he's my main man. All right, he's my main man. I see him as my main man. All right, he's my main man. He helped me get my baby Eleanor back. He didn't deserve to die. But it was the only way to get us out of there, which I think I salute to his sacrifice. I'm starting to tear up a bit right now because of that. Oh my god, okay, yeah. We would definitely do the good ending. Maybe a more good neutral ending, because I would definitely have you have Delta kill, Alex the Great, aka Gil Alexander, just because, I feel like it's the more humane thing to do. It would be more, it would add to the morality and the questionableness of the story. Like, would you kill the man or would you spare him? And I feel like I would kill the man and spare him. But I always spare him because I know you're supposed to spare him for the good ending, which I always go for. That's me. But hey, that's just how I am. I go for all the good endings. So yeah, we would definitely use Dionysus Park to show off Lamb and who she is. Lamb is going to be somebody who definitely becomes becomes someone you have to deal with. And you will have to, and I can't wait to just sit there and be like, you were going to show you her ideals, and do you agree with them or do you not agree with them? Well, you'll have to see. We'll see, alright? Of course, like I'll say, during BioShock 1, we'll be having a bunch of things that show Ryan's ideals. Of course, we're going to have the scene where we have Jack going down the bathysphere, and we have, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow speech? That whole spiel. I feel like that's another important speech of his, and the whole, my steel's not the whole, my heart, like it's a time to build and a time to destroy. That whole thing. Those three speeches, I feel like, are very important for him, for Ryan, and Sophia. Some of the stuff she says is going to be very important to her character, and very influential into the story as we go along. I don't know if I would cut any bits out of the game, because there's not as much levels there. I would definitely do the whole Ryan amusement bit. Like, we're walking through a bit of a Ryan amusements, and you kind of learn a bit about Ryan, like more about Ryan's ideals a bit more, which I think would be a great way to do. Great thing to do. Just to give you guys an idea what's going on right now, we have finished pretty much all the legs, and I am now trying to figure out a color to do the body in, which eventually I use, I believe it's dark tan. So yeah, dark tan is the color I figured landed upon. This is kind of help show you guys, this is one of the reasons why I like doing these series, is to kind of show you guys what I go through in making these models, and yeah. I go for a lot. So yeah. Siren Alley's a whole bit. Yeah, we would definitely do a bit of Siren Alley, because that's going to be a bit important. Again, me as the director, if I became the director, if I were to direct this thing, like, I'll say this, I probably didn't say it in the beginning, but my goal, one day, become a director in Hollywood. And, I want to try to be, I want to try to be a director who does these crazy science fiction movies that have insane, CGI spectacles. I want to do that for people in my movies, but and if I'm able to get into Hollywood, and of course, BioShock would be a movie I would love to do. The BioShock franchise would be a movie I'd love to do if I'm able to get into Hollywood as a director. If I don't get into Hollywood as a director, I'll just do short films as a side thing while I do YouTube and my novel as a main thing. Although YouTube and the novel would be a main thing as I do directing, which I don't know how I would do that, but that's the whole thing. So yeah, like I said, I'm figuring out that, and yeah. I would definitely keep in Popper's Drop to kind of show like I feel like BioShock 2 adds to the world of Rapture and just BioShock 1 and just gives it like this, like here's what happened behind the scenes of building of Rapture. Here's what it's like and here's what it looks like. Here's where people were here's what life was during Rapture. Like the very poor people lived during the time on Rapture. Like they lived under the rails. Poor them. But also to kind of show, hey, here's what's happened to Rapture 10 years later. And I would also do some really nice underwater shots of Subject Delta walking through the ocean. Oh my god, I feel like that would be a really beautiful shot, really beautiful thing to do. And man, I think that'd be a great thing to do. What else would I probably do with it? I don't think there's much else. I would definitely use whatever new plasmids came out of that game bring them in. I would obviously use the main plasmids, the normal plasmids from there, like, Incinerite, Electrobolt, all that good stuff that I've used in my playthrough, because I want to give it that. And, yeah. Of course, the weapons, I'm probably going to knock it down to the machine gun, the shotgun, the rivet gun. Really love that gun. The rivet gun and the machine gun are really nice. I really like those guns. I'm trying to think, what other guns would be nice? Maybe the grenade launcher? Maybe the spear gun. I don't really use the grenade gun or the grenade launcher or the spear gun as much as I'd like. Yeah, I know. Oh my god. Hey, is there another? I feel like there's more, but I can't remember off the top of my head what guns that there are. I remember more than the other one. I remember one than two more. But yeah, I would definitely try to do some of the main weapons in there. We would definitely need the hat gun. We would definitely need that. Yeah. Oh, we would definitely want the drill in there. The drill's important. Very importanto. Okay, yeah, it came to me. If you can hear what's being watched by my sister on the TV on our PlayStation, I am sorry. I'm gonna do what I can to make it quieter, and by that I mean close the door all the way. So yeah, I would definitely do that. And I think that's it I'm gonna want to talk about regarding that, because there's not much really you can do for that game. Because I mean, like, there's it. I mean, like, yeah, I would cut some bits out. Yeah, of course. Like, I would not do every single time we do a little sister bit. No, but I would do a little sister bit from time to time, like one or two of them in the game. Kind of show that off in the beginning of the movie, but then, as time goes on, maybe not. Have the big sister fight, have a couple big sister fights in the beginning, and then near the end, I would obviously have him rescue them. I want him to rescue the little sisters. So, yeah. I think that's it for 2. I think we're on a good track here. We might be able to get all the movies, all these things done before this video is done, and then then we'll be on to BioShock Parkside. Hopefully, if I don't get BioShock Parkside in this one, I'll bump it into the next part. So yeah. So we're gonna do Minerva's Den next. All right, Minerva's Den. This would round off the BioShock Rapture trilogy. The Rapture trilogy. This would end this Rapture trilogy I want to do. I could see myself easily condensing the entire game into a 2-hour-long movie. I give the guy the ion laser cannon. Really nice gun. Really love that gun. It's a beautiful gun. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of my favorite guns in the whole game, in the whole franchise. Wish I was in 2, but hey, it works for the setting. Definitely the machine gun. I believe. I don't know. I forget if the rivet gun's in that game, but in that section, if it is, use that. Of course, this one will have Subject Sigma as opposed to Subject Delta, which, when we get to Subject Delta, I will say this. If you want to build a Subject Delta of your own, Sigma of your own, Subject Sigma can be built by yourself out of Lego by using the parts that I just very similarly. You just gotta, replace a couple of things, maybe. But you can build a Subject Sigma from my Subject Delta figure. You might want to, if there's some changes that need to be done model-wise, look-wise for him, then go ahead on that. But you can do that. You're more than welcome to do that. I feel like that's definitely important because it kind of shows that Rapture is ending. The life of Rapture is over. Rapture is dead. Rapture is dying and is dead by the end of that. Like, Rapture can't be alive anymore. So, what would we do? Well, we continue on from there. Where do we go from there? The story. We will definitely have us trying to get the Thinker out. We definitely get the Thinker out in time. We have Bridget Tenenbaum with us. I'd probably get the same actress I had for the first game. Whoever that is, I don't know. I don't have any ideas on who I'd want to play who. All I know is if I were to do a BioShock movie, I would do BioShock 1 before Infinite, because I've seen a number of things on Pinterest about, like, oh, BioShock movie! Let's have this thing be these character actors. I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying to do here, but I'll do Infinite later. And then we will continue on from there with, obviously we'll have, the hat gun as well for him. We'll give him the gravity well plasmid. I like that plasmid. That is actually a really cool plasmid. The same enemies will be from 2, and those 2 franchises will be in there. We'll do this from 2, and that one will be in there. I will have the same enemy, the enemies, and all the different types of enemies in 1v1. I will try to do that. At least try. I mean, there is a good number, but I'm gonna do what I can. So yeah. trying to think, what would I do for this film? I mean, there's not much really to go over. I mean, yeah, of course, you're gonna want to have like similar looking alpha big daddies. Of course, you're gonna want to have the big daddies the same, similar looking big daddies as well. I'm gonna have to want to have the Lancer in there. The whole thing that Charles Porter says to the Sigma. Omega was Sinclair, who, God. But Sigma is going to be, and we're going to want to have, I'm obviously going to want to have that reveal. Sigma was Delta. I mean, Sigma was Milton all along, and that the Thinker was posing as him. We'll have that reveal. We will have that reveal in the game. I want to give people a shock for their money. I want to be like, whoa! Make people be like, whoa, wait, what? That's a thing? Like, wait, what? Huh? And explain, like, how he kind of got to that. Like, maybe kind of, like, hint that this is not maybe the real Charles Milton Porter throughout the game. Because, of course, we're going to, obviously, throughout 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, like, the 3 BioShock movies, do a audio diaries, but important audio diaries. Like, I might do the whole Diane McClintock story in there. I might do that. But I do find Diane McClintock's story very sad. It sucks that she got killed by Atlas/Fontaine. Although she was really excited to tell him about how they did on a mission. Which, God, I feel bad for her. I feel bad. She went through a lot. I'm not gonna lie. That girl been through some shit. She's been through some short. All right. Let's see here. What else would I? I don't think there's much more to tackle with the Minerva's Dead. And of course, I would do some underwater scenes as well. Of course, gotta have those underwater scenes. Those are going to be beautiful and spectacular. Oh man. Creeper. Aw, man. Trust me, I'm a Captain Sparkles fan, so that's a big meme. Big memes right there. Some of the biggest of memes. We are right now in the model, right now here in the video, working on the Big Daddy body. We're getting him built right now. I'm just figuring out where to put everything on the body, I'm getting there, we're getting there. We're on the body now, so, yeah. We'll probably be... I know from here we'll probably be like halfway done with the body before the video is over, but we're going to get somewhere with him. That's for sure. He's looking dope, though. I'm not going to lie. What else? I don't think there's much. I mean, yeah, of course, like I said, I'm going to condense it down a bit because there's a lot to the place. But, I mean, yeah. I'll figure things out. And, yeah. Kind of give it a thing, somebody just came in and out of the room, so if you heard the door opening and close, that just happened. I really need a studio of my own. So, yeah. That's the thing. That'll be happening. Let's jump into Infinite. Alrighty. BioShock Infinite. I would change up a good portion of this movie, of this game into a movie. I would change up the whole thing of why, I would cut out a good portion of the game because it feels filler. It feels like, oh, we gotta get the Comstock. Oh wait, now we gotta get to, now we gotta get Elizabeth out of here. No, now we gotta go to Comstock. Now I gotta go back get Elizabeth. Now we gotta get to Comstock. No, now I gotta get the weapons. It's just, the mission keeps getting diverted because some other person comes up and be like, no, I need you to take care of this first. before you, it's like, can I please? I get what you're trying to do here, Ken. Ken, I get what you're trying to do here, but I don't like it. I'm sorry, but I don't. It made the game feel like it was long and drawn out when there was all these um, bits here. But I'm sorry. I know I'm probably getting flack for that, but I didn't like how that was, and I'm gonna talk more about Infinite, about what I disliked about Infinite later down the line. But yeah, I would cut most of the game out and make it just we get Elizabeth out of Columbia. Comstock is in our way. Comstock keeps trying to get in our way to stop her, to stop us. We use the Vigors to fight him. And once we fight it and to get out of Columbia, every time we go to Columbia, every time we're there, we fight, with, I want to try to give some, I want to change up some of Columbia. Like, I want to make the Vigors actually have a purpose, as opposed to be like, oh, hey, here, take a Vigor. Nobody's using it in this game. It would make more sense to be like, oh, hey, here's a Vigor, use it. Have like Vigor junkies, like who are like the splicers, obviously, make pretty much most of the enemies that, as opposed to the police forces, because Comstock's in charge of those. I might do a run-in with Fink along the way. I don't know. I may do a bit of the jumping of the timelines, but only a couple. Not a lot, only a couple, just to help make it so that way people can understand, wait, what the hell just happened? They can understand, okay, we went from one timeline to another, and then at another point in the movie, we'll be going from another timeline to another. And of course, we'll kind of explain all of that, explain the multiverse. We go to a different Rapture, which I talked about why I feel BioShock 1, 2, and Minerva's Den are in a separate universe from Infinite and Burial at Sea in a previous Build Talk video. Highly recommend you check that out. That is a video that I am very proud. I am very proud of that theory. I feel like it actually holds some water. So yeah, yeah. What else? I might knock out a number of the Vigors and a number of the weapons, but it would just be like, okay, Booker finds a new weapon he knows he can use for a bit. He uses it, and then he uses another weapon. Like, he has like a couple weapons. Elizabeth, she uses her powers in the battle, but at strategic moments, we cleverly figure out when to use things. We maybe have like one or two near-death moments, but Elizabeth saves him. We obviously have her change into that outfit. We may do the whole thing where she dies, where she kills. That Elizabeth doesn't die. So don't get it on me in the comment section. I know she doesn't die. Where Booker gets killed by all the Elizabeth, and we make everybody think it's the end of that, but no, that's barely. Let's see. I might do some retconning of my own just to kind of make it make sense. Because to me, that made no sense. Like, why the hell is Elizabeth there when all the other people died? I just feel like Ken Levine just wanted to shove her in there. Put her in there. Make Jack do the thing. But no. I want Rapture to be different. I want you to notice that that Rapture, and the Rapture we saw in 1 is different than the Rapture we see in 2. Which would be very useful. Let me figure. What else would we do with the movie? Give probably, like, obviously, like, we would do the whole scene where they're like, what, like, why did you kidnap her? Why did you put her up in a tower and all that? You know, why would you do that? She was your daughter. Like, that would be a scene that would be in the movie. Because that scene's got a lot of weight to it. A lot of emotional weight. I want to give people that, like, why did he do it? Why did he do it? And then he doesn't really feel it. And you're like, oh, wait a second. Something's not right here. Yeah, something's not right. So, yeah. That whole scene would be a thing. I probably wouldn't do the whole thing with the siren and all that, because that, no thank you. Nope, I'm not doing that bit. Maybe Cornelius Slate, I don't know, depends on how I feel depends on where we are, it depends on how much screen time we are with that movie. The screen time with that movie. But yeah, I'm not doing it. I might do that. I might not. I don't know if there were anybody else. Obviously, I kind of want to make Songbird. I want to make Songbird feel like it's the main enemy. Like, you are being chased by Songbird because of... It might just be how I might do Infinite is you're being chased by Songbird. You gotta get out of Infinite. You gotta get out of Columbia. And you obviously occasionally, like, it shows up at the worst times possible. Like, we have a group of enemies there, cornering Booker and Elizabeth, and then Songbird shows up, and it's like, oh my god, dang. And then they gotta figure out a way to get out of this whole situation. I see myself making BioShock Infinite way different than it was than it is in the game. I'm probably going to get flack for that from the fans, but it's just to kind of help make a more cohesive story, kind of make it feel like it's a better story in my opinion. And hey, if you don't like what I'm doing with it, tell me, like, what I would do for it, let me know. I wouldn't mind hearing what your thoughts are about the ideas I'm spitting out right now. Because I love hearing your thoughts and I love hearing thoughts and opinions. I'd be happy to take them. So yeah. Yeah, at some point Elizabeth would no, Yeah, of course, everything's got to go back to Rapture. We got to go back to pre-Rapture, but it's going to be way different than it was in the beginning of the movie. Than it was in the first game, than the first one. I want to make it feel different. I want to make it look like, oh, hey, BioShock Infinite is not in the same place as the first one. I want to make you think that. I want to make you realize that. I want to make it so when you go back and rewatch the first movie, and do like a marathon, you watch the first movie, and then you get to Infinite, you're like, wait a second. This guy's freaking clever! This guy played us all for fools! Not really for fools, but this guy was very clever! I gotta give that guy props now. Or people might hit my guts. Whichever way. Either way, I'll be happy with whatever the outcome is, because hey, people would have hopefully have loved the movie. So hey, there's that. I think that's it on how I'm gonna want to talk with Infinite. We're nearing the end of the video. Well, we've got like 18 minutes left. I'm going to talk as much as I can about about Burial at Sea Part 2, and we're going to push Parkside on to the next video, and along with the other things I want to talk about in that video. So, well, not really 18 minutes, a little less than, but, hey, it's whatever. So, yeah. But in total, we have 18 minutes left of the video, so I might as well kind of talk a bit about Infinite. So, without further ado, Infinite Burial at Sea. So, Burial at Sea, I would make it be about them trying to figure out what's going on there. Why are all these children disappearing? Not just focusing on the one singular little sister. Why are all the little sisters disappearing? Why are all the girls disappearing and coming out as they are? And this reveals Jack. And they kind of stumble upon it to Jack, and Jack comes out, and you see Jack, and we learn about Jack becoming a thing, and how that's a little thing, and we obviously have the run-in with Mr. Sander Cohen. And, yeah, I feel like if we were to do it that way, it would make it it feels like it would be kind of more of an interesting film, as opposed to, oh, we gotta find this little sister. This girl who's lost. Alright. Let's do that. Now, of course, there's probably people who are watching this who are like huge fans of Burial at Sea. I'm sorry, but hey, look, I'm going with what I know. I'm going off what I like, what I would like to see in this, what I would do as a director here. So, yeah. I would stick with the plasmids, not the vigors, because the vigors, I would occasionally I might give a vigor or two, but give them the proper naming, but name it like liquefied shock, liquefied, drinkable, electrobolt, not shock jockey. No, I'm not making you grab shock jockey when it's supposed to be electrobolt. Or Devil's Kiss when it's supposed to be Incinerite. I just did the snapping motion for that. I freaking love doing that whenever I'm bored or I'm walking around. I pretend I'm Jack or like the Jack, and I just go, pfft, and I just set some splicers on fire. I have a vivid imagination, alright? Doing these as a movie would be awesome for me, alright? I would love it. I'm sure my friend who got me into BioShock would love it, too. They'd love it, and I would have them on this with me to kind of help make sure I'm doing everything correctly. I'd also try to get the fans involved in this, but yeah, hey, Yeah, well, and of course, with Burial at Sea, I'm gonna, of course, there's some time, there's continuity errors, Fontaine's department store is not used in the first game as isn't where all the people are. Andrew Ryan's enemies are thrown away and all the criminals know that's Popper's drop, so of course, that's another thing to kind of help with the idea of a multiverse, not a continuity error. So yeah, again, I will refer to you guys again to my multiverse theory video I made a while back. I made a couple weeks ago. Check it out again, and I really highly recommend checking it out. It's going to be referenced a lot. It'll be referenced. So yeah. Burial at Sea will be, we will definitely, I want to have you have that moment where you see Andrew Ryan again. We have a bit more part with Suchung. I don't have us go to freaking Columbia just to have, I might have us go to Columbia for that whole bit, but hey, that's just how I'm going to be. But, that depends on how the story is, what the story calls for. But, hey, I'm not gonna, say, the story says we need this. I'm gonna give it this, but also not. But we'll see what we need to give it. Again, with Infinite and Burger, let's see, they're good starting points, but I can take what we have as elements and modify them and manipulate them and give them something as a good. They're good starting points, like I said. They're good points to just start off at and go from. So it's not like I'm gonna just regard all of that. No, I'm gonna take what I have, maybe modify it, but I'm going to use it. I mean, I would try to make all of these feel like they're connected, like into an interwoven story, where you could just sit there and you could be like, huh, this is a story. Like, you get to watch all of these together and you get to feel like, okay, this does tell a story. At least 1 to 3. 4 and 5, which would be Infinite and Barrel at Sea, that would be a model. That would be its own story. That would be its own little set story. And depending on if BioShock Parkside comes about, we would do a whole story for that. It would have its own story if it does connect to 1 and 2, to Infinite and Barrel at Sea, or to the first trilogy. It could, have its own thing, or it could connect everything together. But again, I'm going to talk more about that in the next thing before we get into the little questions I have to talk about. That will be great for user participation, viewer participation. So hey. But you guys are more than welcome to comment down below what you guys would what you guys would think about these, and would you guys watch these? So yeah. I won't mind, having some viewers reply to how I would do a BioShock movie. At least all the video games as a movie. Of course, that's going to depend on how the studio wants it, how well they do in the box office and all that, but hey. Pretty much everything runs on money these days, so that's unfortunate. But whatever. I don't mind. I'm gonna do what I can to make these work well for you guys. So as you can see here right now in the video on the model, we are working on the back of the Big Daddy. We are giving him his body, but at some point in the future, I'm going to be taking that and making it a 6x6 plate, 6x6 wide. That'll probably be in the next video, but yeah. I think that's what I do in the next video. You'll be seeing in the next video it becomes 6x6 plate instead of a 4x6. At least it starts on a 4x6, but then it goes to a 6x6. So I have like a little less than 10 minutes left to go. I don't really know what else to talk about. I don't want to start talking about Parkside yet. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the steps, it looks like. Okay, I was wondering what I was doing at the moment. Okay. I would start BioShock Parkside, but I don't want to right now. I want to talk about that later in the next video because, that would be something that would... I don't want to start getting into it and then, realizing, oh no, I need to discuss this a bit more. Some of the weapons I would probably actually use for BioShock Infinite and BioShock Barrel at Sea would probably be the machine gun, the carbine, maybe the shotgun, and probably the pistol. Although I mained the machine gun and the carbine throughout the whole game. That's what I did. I mained those two. Once I got a hold of the machine gun and the carbine, I'm like, I ain't getting rid of these. Nope, you ain't making me get rid of these. I'm sorry, but I am never getting rid of these. I'm going to run around with these guns and do what I want with them. So I'm gonna do let's do a quick recap on what I would do for each story, for each movie, for each game as a movie, like story wise. So for the BioShock one, it would probably be, if I haven't said this already, but at least I would probably do the same story. Trying to have Jack go through Rapture, getting out of Rapture, the whole betrayal stuff and all that. Delta getting to his little sister, which would be big. Minerva's den, getting the Thinker out of Rapture. I feel like it's very important. Uh, Infinite getting Elizabeth out of Columbia, and no sidetracks. No, barely any sidetracks. Whoever we meet in the game, maybe someone who works for Comstock, but other than that, Songbird's going to be somebody we face a lot in the game, in the movie. They're going to become like one of the big protagonists, but we find that Comstock, is the guy who, controls the Songbird. But then we take control of the Songbird after that, probably. And have that whole multi-dimensional scene and that jumping. So yeah. Burial at Sea, probably a whole sequence where we're probably trying to remember going from one sister, trying to find what's happening to the little sisters in that universe that connects to that with Booker and Elizabeth, because that's kind of how it is, although that Booker is Comstock, whatever. And we go from there, and then that just becomes how we learn about Jack and, essentially. So, yeah. I will say we are getting some really good progress. The progress on this Big Daddy is going really well. I really like how he's looking. I really like how this model came out. He's a favorite, alright? He's a favorite. He's one of my favorite models I've done for BioShock. I will say I won't be able to show you at the end how I did the little sister, but the little sister is done, I believe. I don't know if she's done it. The Rosie? Definitely, I believe in the Rumbler. Definitely, probably in the Lancer and the Rumbler, I believe. If I have already said that, but whatever, yeah. Yeah, and like I mentioned, this would 1, 2, and Minerva's Den would be a trilogy of their own, and then Burial at Sea and Infinite would be their own little bit as well, with Parkside, I will be telling you what I would like from that game and of it itself, and its little bit, try to help connect, and how that would be its own, and I might even mention how I'd like to see if I could make that into a movie of its own, and kind of explain what should be done with that. So yeah, we're nearing the end of this bit here before we wrap it all up. I know that for sure. Not much left to go, unfortunately, but hey, that's them breaks. So yeah. I do hope you guys did enjoy this. I know I'm going to be saying this at the intro, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this whole talk I have with you guys about, like, BioShock and its, my idea for it, because I really feel like there could be a really good BioShock film. So the BioShock film's done, and I feel like I could be the guy who does that. I mean, knowing me, how much of a fan how much I love BioShock, I probably would do this franchise some justice. In the movie wise, and I would love to know what you guys think of each movie of these, how each of these movies, and if there's anything you would like to see in each of these things, let me know in the comment section down below. That'd be greatly appreciated, because I get to know what you guys think, and it's a great way to get some viewer participation in. So, yeah. Like I said, we're almost done with this bit. Yeah, as you can see here, we're working more on the. We're continuing with the body. The body's bit. The body was a tricky bit. All right, it was not easy. Okay, that was not an easy part, but I figured it out. I was able to get it done, and I really like how it looks. Probably one of my. It's how I did it. Actually, looks really well. It works out really well. And I feel like the reason why I kept going back over and over again with this thing was just because it was due to me trying to get this done right, make it look right, and make it work. Because you know what, I knew there was probably going to be BioShock fans watching these videos, being like, "Yo, I want to see that. I really like that. It's really good, really dope." So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, these are actually really fun to do. These build talk videos, these are real fun to do. The only problem with these is I need to find time to record the entire build process. I need time in my day to record me building every portion of this thing. But I'm able to figure that out. I have the ability to, so yeah. So yeah, in the next episode we'll be wrapping this all up. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see that whole thing being wrapped up and what we do with that. So yeah. He's good. He's a big boy, I'm not gonna lie, but he's a really nicely done model. So yeah. Let's get that outro going and we'll be done from here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it for you guys. So yeah, without further ado, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. Check out my friends on the rise. Link to that is in the description down below. Hit the subscribe button so you get notified when the next part of this comes out, and when that tutorial comes up, so you get to know how to build this wonderful model yourself. And yeah, I believe that's it. So yeah, this is Damien from DKBrickStudios signing off. Remember, may the force and the force of others be with you always. I'll see you all in the next video. Oh wait, before I sign up, I think I might have forgot to say this, but check out DK Gaming Studios. Link to that is also in the description down below. But yeah, without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Chasing the dark from the night. Trust in your feelings and find a new hope. Take your best shot.